So today's video will again discuss some words and we'll try to put these words in the context of scholarly writing. So let's start with the word alacrity, and this basically means brisk and cheerful readiness. So again, this is typically used in the context of a person who is ready to do something or quick to do something, and it's often used in the general language in this particular format. But we can also use it in technical writing, and I have used it in several places. So I'll give you an example for the use of this particular word. The Newton-Raphson method converges with alacrity if the starting guess is close to the actual solution. So again, you could probably use the phrase converges very fast, but I think this particular usage is more useful because it tells you that when you are close to the actual solution, the Newton-Raphson method basically wants to converge to this solution briskly and cheerfully. And if any of you have written programs on the Newton-Raphson method, you would have noticed this behavior near the root. So this is a good use of this particular word. Now the next word on my list is dissonance. And dissonance is basically a lack of agreement between people or things. So again, dissonance can take place in various situations where people do not have the same wavelength. So a way to remember it is that when two things are not in a resonance type of conditions, that means their wavelengths are very far, then there is dissonance between these two things. So again, let us look at a use of this particular word dissonance. So I can write a sentence such as, there was dissonance in the department regarding the importance of different branches of research. So again, this is something which can happen in any typical academic department where different people feel that different aspects of that particular field are more important at any given time, and so those fields should get more funding or more students or more faculty. So that's the use of this word dissonance. So again, a good way to remember this is to realize that this is somewhat of the reverse of the word resonance. And again, resonance can be used in a different setting where you want to say there is a resonance between two people or a resonance between a supervisor and a student, and then there is a good match in this particular combination. Now the next word I have is sporadic, and sporadic essentially means scattered or isolated. So this is a good word to use when you are talking of certain points in a data or certain situations where there is no clear pattern, and these are essentially taking place randomly. So for example, I can create a sentence such as, the code diverged at sporadic points in the domain. So again, this is something which can happen when you're doing a numerical simulation, and you can use the word sporadic here. Now one more word I have is disparate. That's D-I-S-P-A-R-A-T-E. And disparate is essentially something which is very different in type or style. So again, when we say two things are disparate, we essentially mean that they are very different in their nature, in their scope, and so on. So for example, I have used this in a particular sentence in technical writing where I have written that Shekhar brought together the disparate fields of fuzzy logic and probability to develop a diagnostic system which was very robust to the presence of noise in data. And this is something we actually did in research, and we used this precise word in the paper, in fact in the abstract, is that we used Monte Carlo simulations to generate the probability distribution functions and then we use these probability distribution functions to create fuzzy sets which are used in fuzzy logic. So again, many people think that the fields of fuzzy logic and probability are disparate, and we brought them together in this particular work. Now the next word on my list is fractious. And fractious is something which is difficult to control and unruly. So I have a statement such as, the probability group in the department was fractious. They could not decide on the date to have a meeting, much less decide on some long-term vision for the department. So this is a use of the word fractious, and this can again happen and can be used to characterize various situations. Now I have one more word, inculpate. Inculpate is basically to accuse or blame somebody. And this has a particular special meaning in that it tells you that somebody has been incriminated in some malfeasance or misconduct. So somebody has fallen into a trap in some ways. So we can write a sentence such as, professors should check their students' papers very carefully so that they may not get inculpated on plagiarism charges. So again, this can happen in cases where a professor is not very careful and meticulous about the writings which are put before him. Now one more word I have is providential. And providential is taking place at a favorable time or an opportune time. So again, this word we will use later. Let's look at one more word, and that is exculpate. So exculpate is somewhat of the reverse of inculpate, and exculpate means to show or declare that someone is not guilty of misconduct. So let's try to create a sentence out of some of these words. So I can say that Ram was accused of plagiarism by John, who did not believe that Ram could write so well. But a check of Ram's paper through a plagiarism detection software showed that there was no plagiarism in his paper, and therefore Ram was exculpated. It was providential for Ram that the university had purchased the plagiarism detection software just a week before. So this is a possible use of some of these words. Now, one more word I have is temerity. Temerity. And temerity is excessive confidence or boldness, and also it can mean audacity. That's audacity. Now, a reverse or opposite of this is diffidence, and diffidence essentially means modesty or shyness coming from a lack of self-confidence. Some more words on similar themes are audacious, and that is a willingness to take surprisingly bold risks. And one more word is insolent, and that is showing a rude lack of respect. So let's make some sentences out of these words. So one sentence I can make is, in some cultures, it is considered insolent to smoke in front of senior faculty. So again, this can happen. Now for temerity, let us make a sentence. The famous scientist made several erroneous remarks during the seminar, but nobody in the department had the temerity to point these out to him. So again, this is a situation which can take place. I have one more sentence. PhD students must walk the middle path between diffidence and insolence. They should be audacious but not insolent. So again, basically it's good to be diplomatic in one's mannerism and continue in that path, or there are negative consequences for any given person. So something to keep in mind. Now, one more word I have on my list is exacerbate. And this basically means to make a bad situation worse. So again, this is something which can happen in many situations where you have a particular objective which you want to minimize, let us say vibration, and what turned out is that this thing actually went up. So let's look at this in a sentence. The coalescence of the bending and torsion modes exacerbated the vibration in the structure. So again, this is something which can take place. Now, some more words are there. Ostentatious. And ostentatious basically means characterized by pretension or showy display. So let's make a sentence out of this and a previous word. When Dr. Chen, the new faculty member in the department, came to the department in a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, it was considered too ostentatious by the senior faculty. So again, this is a situation which can take place. One more word is vociferous. And vociferous essentially means to express strong views, loud and forceful. So basically you can express strong views loudly and forcefully, and this happens in many situations where people are protesting or agitating for a particular cause. So the sentence I came up with for this is, the students were vociferous in their demand that the final examination be postponed. So again, this can take place. Now I have one more word here, that is oblivious. That is somebody who is not aware or concerned about what is happening around one. So again, this can happen to many people if they are very busy in their routine day-to-day work. They are oblivious to all the things which are happening around them, such as things in the job market and so on. So again, these are some of the words I had for you today, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you can use these words in your technical writing or in your scholarly writing, and also to talk to various people and to improve your language in general. So stay tuned to my channel for more videos on such topics. Thank you very much.